Hello, everyone. So happy to be here. As you all are getting used to, today is Wednesday, and this is the Student World Prime Choices. We present you some very nice choices for a common subject, and then we let you decide what's your best pick. This is what the Student World Prime Choices is all about. Last week, we explored the world of hospitality programs. We brought here to you some of the best hospitality schools in Europe. Today, we're very happy to be exploring a very popular degree choice, which is the subject of engineering, right? This is a world of possibilities. Like, there are so many things you can study in the area of engineering, right? From aerospace engineering all the way to the computer engineering and so on, civil engineering. So there are so many options. And today we're going to explore that and more. And the universities that are coming here today, our guests, are very special guests. I'm so happy. You know why? Because they come from very different parts of the world. We are bringing someone from Canada, Polytechnique Montréal from Canada, which is a great place for you to study engineering. Also, another excellent option in Europe, in Edinburgh, Scotland, to be more specific, which is University of Edinburgh, and someone in Australia, the University of Queensland. So, guys, you can already picture like this. Each of them are so like different, and they are so keen to present themselves to you. And I'm hoping that today you'll be able to get to know each of them a little bit more specifically about their engineering programs, their engineering careers, and you can, take your best pick. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is, first of all, let me welcome you guys here, right? So I see already like many people that are coming up here. But guys, thank you so much for joining us here. Maud Bourassa from Polytechnique Montréal. How are you doing, Maud?
I'm doing good. Thank you for the invite.
Amazing to have you here. Such a great school in Canada. Aristides from the University of Edinburgh. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for accepting our invitation. How are you today?
Very, very well, thanks. It's a pleasure to be with all of you.
Cool. And last but not least, our Aussie representative here, actually from Colombia, right? How are you doing, Natalia? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Carlos. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be here today.
We're very excited to be here, but not just the three of you. We have here many people that are already like joining us here today. We have Mateus, we have Lanadel, we have Little from Ghana. So many people joining us so far. Guys, please feel free to tell us where you're watching us from. Put here the country or the city. We'd love to interact with you. Beatriz, again, joining us here. So the last week we had a super engaged audience. We were really happy with like all the questions that came up. Not even questions, but even like the comments or any interactions that comes from the audience is so much appreciated because it can make this live so much more interesting, right? Don't let us spend 1 hour here talking and talking and talking. Join us, join our stage here at the Student World Prime Choices. Send your questions, send your comments. We will love to address each one of you. We want you to be part of this. So thanks a lot. Oh yeah, some Brazil. Guys, we have quite a diverse audience here. So someone from Ghana, we have Iraq, we have Brazil, we have Nigeria. Very excited, very excited. Okay, then. So I think maybe before we start, why don't we start actually introducing a little bit about each of you? So maybe we can start in Montreal, Canada, with you, Maud. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself? What do you do for the university?
Yeah, thank you, Carlos. So I'm a prospective student advisor, especially for graduate students, giving advice on master's and PhD and how to enroll at Polytechnique Montreal. I've been working at Polytechnique for 8 years now, so any questions you may have, I'll probably have the answer to your questions. I'll be very happy to help you. And Polytechnique Montreal is located obviously in Montreal, Canada, in the province of Quebec. So for not going further than that, because I guess we will go through many questions, I'll be able to tell you a bit more about Polytechnique. It's going to be a pleasure to present you the school and the offer of programs that we have, because we have also the bachelor's degree.
Absolutely. But you know what? I think a great way to introduce just a little bit about the university will be to play a quick video that we got from Polytechnique Montréal. So let's see a little bit about Polytechnique Montréal, please.
Ils repensent le monde de demain et inventent de nouveaux mondes au quotidien. Ils travaillent dans le monde de l'intelligence artificielle, de la recherche médicale de pointe, du développement durable, des grands chantiers. Leur influence se fait sentir par tout le monde. Et on les retrouve partout dans le monde. Ils ont eu l'audace de rêver et ont fait de leurs rêves une réalité. Ils ont appris à faire évoluer la société, à communiquer leurs idées, à collaborer, à viser plus haut, à voir plus loin. Bacheliers, maîtres, docteurs, ces diplômés en ingénierie ont acquis un monde de connaissances, de compétences et la confiance de savoir qu'ils avaient le pouvoir de changer le monde. Et tous ont fait partie du monde de Polytechnique Montréal.
All right, this is our first guest, guys. But now, Maud, stay right there. Let's bring to the stage now the Aristides and Natalia as well, guys. Come on back here, so we can talk about Natalia. Can you tell a little bit about yourself and what you do for the University of Queensland?
Sure. So I am a Colombo Australian. I did my master's degree in Australia many years ago, and I've been working in the industry for over 15 years now. I work for the Future Students Department at the university, so I help international students like yourselves pick the best option at the university. The University of Queensland, or UQ, is one of the most prestigious institutions in Australia, top 50 in the world, and is a very comprehensive university. So I'm sure you will find different options to study with us, and we're located in Brisbane, the capital city of Queensland, and the third largest city in Australia.
Cool. But now let's do the same. Let's take a quick look at the University of Queensland. I love these videos, guys, because we can see their campus. We can have a great look of what their university looks like. So let's take a look at the University of Queensland. Lovely. Was that was it's a beautiful place where your campus is located, by the way. But now let's move across Europe to Scotland, Edinburgh, a city that I'm in love with, been for many years. Aristides, how are you doing? Can you tell us a little bit about what you do for the university? Who are you?
Sure. So my name is Aristides Kyprakis. I'm not Scottish, as you can probably understand by the name. I'm from Greece. But I've lived for almost half of my life now in Scotland. I am not just an academic, a senior lecturer at the School of Engineering in Edinburgh, but I'm also an alumnus of the school. So I know the university both as a member of staff, as an academic, but also as a student. My formal role, in addition to my academic roles, is I am the director for international students, and I'm also the director of one of the master's programs that our schools offer in advanced power engineering. So any questions about any of these, I will be very happy to answer them tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now it's time so we take a look a little bit about the University of Edinburgh. Let's take a look. Amazing. Now, guys, now that you're familiar and now you are more into the three amazing guests that we have here today, let's kickstart this lovely topics that we'll be exploring today, which is the engineering programs. I want to start this one with you, Maud. When it comes to engineering programs, it's like there's so much careers, so much courses, so much branches inside this, right? You can go, as I was saying at the beginning, from aerospace engineering all the way to computer engineering to civil engineering. There's so many things. I wanted to ask you, like, what advice do you give to people, like how to choose properly what's the right program for them? And I also wanted to add that to bring on the perspective, to bring to the reality of your universities, which of these amazing branches of engineering do you offer?
Yeah, that's a good question. So first of all, when students are looking for an engineering program, most of the time when they don't know which one to choose, it's because they're finishing their high school and they're jumping into university. So at the bachelor level, we offer 12 different engineering programs. And as we know, it is hard to take a decision on either you want industrial engineering or civil engineering or computer engineering. We have recently built an app that is called GoGenie. I'll put it in the chat, and it's available on the App Store and Google Play. We're very proud of it. Since it's for our bachelor degree offered only in French, the app is only displayed in French. But if you don't speak French, don't worry. We have many other programs that can be done in English too. So this is for the bachelor level. And at the master, obviously, if you've done an engineering program before, then you know which field of engineering you want to target for your graduate studies, and then you can search deepen your knowledge into that specific branch of engineering, or do a connect one. That would be, for example, energy engineering, or the switch from electrical to mechanical, or from aerospace to deepen electrical engineering. So you have a better knowledge of what you would like to do. And if you focus obviously onto research, then you'll be looking at a resume of a professor that match your research interest. And for that, we have a browser where you can track which professor would be more adapted to what you would like to do into your research field and specialize into a specific kind of engineering.
Lovely. It's so nice to have, like, you know, just going the extra mile, like developing this app and making this available. It's really nice, because one of the key things of, I mean, I've graduated recently, and choosing the right course is really a big deal, because it's something that we'll be doing for like a long few years of your life, right? So, but let me bring back the Aristides and Atares here to the call. I want to get your perspectives on the same question, guys. I'll ask our team to keep you guys on the screen. Natalia, what advice would you give to the students? I mean, you've been in touch with students like for a long time, especially international students. When they come to you saying, "Oh, I want to pursue this engineering as a subject," how do you help them to like really find the right one for them?
Yes, look, at UQ, as I said before, we are a comprehensive university and we teach all the specializations within engineering at both the undergrad and postgrad levels. So I always recommend students to obviously do their research, and they can source in different resources available at the university's websites, information sessions or academic sessions like the one that we're doing today to learn more about the institutions and the different disciplines. Perhaps discuss with a family member or a friend who is within the industry to learn more about their perspective, and that may help you find your path. However, at the undergrad level at the University of Queensland, our Bachelor of Engineering offers a very flexible first year with hands-on experience across all aspects of engineering. And that first year allows students to try out different introductory courses from all our core specializations within engineering. So you can find your best option and you can learn more about those disciplines. So you don't necessarily have to make the decision at the time of application. This is something that you can discover and you can decide during the first year of our Bachelor of Engineering.
This is such a you try the water, test the water before you jump into the pool, right? Yeah, really.
Like that,
yeah. How about like in the University of Edinburgh, Aristides, and in all your experience, like talking to students that are interested in this field, what have you noticed that are their main concerns, or their how do you help them like really find the right program for them?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. What I always advise my students is to basically follow what their heart says in terms of their future careers, because that's the only way that they can guarantee that they would be successful in whatever they are doing. Now, we follow a very similar approach with the University of Queensland. So we offer 17 combinations or specializations of engineering degrees. However, during the first years, they follow a similar stream, and then they specialize as you move towards your honors years, as we call them in the UK. So, in fact, our four main disciplines: chemical, civil environmental, electrical and electronics, and mechanical engineering, they follow an almost identical first year. So students who have started, let's say, as an electrical and electronics, if they decide midway their first year that I changed my mind, I want to do mechanical, it is perfectly possible. But in addition to this, we also offer an entry program that we call general engineering. That's not a graduating program, that's an entry program. That when a student is not sure what flavor of engineering they want to pursue, they can take it, and it gives them some time to decide what to do once they see the topics that they will be studying for the next 4 years or so. In terms of support, our students, the moment that they become an Edinburgh student, so the moment that they get a firm offer from us, they get what we call a personal tutor. A personal tutor is an academic like myself, who is there as a mentor for the remaining of their not just student, but also professional life. So we advise our students, we mentor our students, answering questions like the one that you just posed. What is the best engineering flavor for me? But we help those students mature as engineers while they're studying, and we also follow them after graduation in their professional life. So if 5 years down the line they need a reference or something like this, we have we maintain contacts. The personal tutors maintain contacts with our students, and they're able to help them. And we always treasure these communications with our graduates if 5 years down the line or 10 years we get an email, oh, hi, Aristides, remember you taught me control engineering in my 3rd year. This is what I'm doing now, and that's how we have progressed.
Yeah, good. That's great. This is something that we're going to approach again at later on in this live, which is like the possibilities, the all the support that the university gives, after the graduation, not only when they are students, but also when they turn into alumni of the institutions. But I wanted to bring Maud back to this discussion. I wanted to ask you. So you mentioned when you're on your first in your first intervention, you were saying like some of the degree options and some of the fields of engineering that are offered in your institution. Is there any like particular field that Polytechnique Montréal is especially known for inside engineering?
Obviously, students want to choose always the best program for them to succeed in life and find a job. What I always tell them is follow your heart. Somebody already talked about do whatever you want. And if you're passionate about what you do, what you study, then you'll find a job. You'll give your passion to the employer, and then you'll succeed in life. So that's the first advice I would say. But other than that, so Polytechnique ranks in the top 100 universities in the world. So we are under the umbrella of University of Montréal. So if you search for University of Montréal, then you'll find the ranking of Polytechnique Montreal. And obviously, as Montreal is very successful in some key space and AI, obviously Polytechnique do very good in those, but we should not forget all about the other engineering programs that we offer, because our professors are well known in the world. They travel, they publish overseas, and they work with many universities over the world. So their expertise is very well known. And if you focus into research, I would definitely tell you to check on the resume of the professor to match with the best one. So I always say if the best one is at Poly into your field of research, then Poly will be the right school for you. But if it's in Edinburgh, then you have to go to Edinburgh. So follow the best match within research for the professor you would like to work with. But obviously the placement rate for the undergrad level is at 98%. We don't know where are the two other percent, but probably students who have decided not to do engineering in life because the work market is very, very favorable in Montreal. Even during the pandemic, the qualified people are missing into the province of Quebec and in general in Canada. So don't worry about that. Just follow your heart, and you'll be able to give your passion to employers, and they'll believe in you and give you a job.
Yeah, absolutely. A placement, job placement. This is for those of you that are not familiar with this term, guys, that Maud just brought up, is that she was saying that 98% of the students that graduate from the Polytechnique Montréal, they get a job after their graduations, and this is something that that our education, we get it's a mean to to get a job, to get to explore a career path and so on. So really happy that you brought that up. It's a very important topic. But I want to bring Natalia back to this, because as Maud was saying, it's really about like, oh, I'm hearing a little bit of echo here. Not sure if you guys are hearing as well. But as Maud was saying, it's all about like, there's no such thing as the one university is the right option for everybody, right? It's really a match, right? Some people are looking for the ones that have more like a hands-on teaching style. Some others prefer more the academic, more the research focus on. I wanted to ask that question about University of Queensland. What is the teaching style of University of Queensland? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. Look, we have a very interesting combination in terms of how we form our professionals. So UQ is obviously a research-intensive university, and it's internationally recognized for the world-class research we do. So yes, our programs have a research component, but also a very strong practical component built into it. And in the case of the bachelor's in engineering and the master's degrees, students can access those practical components right from semester one, which is absolutely wonderful. And some of those activities, as I said before, including internships and work integrated learning, are part of the curriculum. But there's also a lot of extracurricular activities outside the academic curriculum that you will be able to engage with. And that includes, further internships, volunteering projects, and includes things like innovation and entrepreneurship that everyone is talking about these days. And so we have this program, which is a 6-week program, again, parallel to your studies, that you will be able to join if you want to learn more about innovation and entrepreneurship, for instance. So we invest a lot in terms of giving students the tools they need to be more employable, and we touch on different aspects, right? Research, practicals, work integrated learning, innovation, and entrepreneurship, develop your skills, soft skills and things like that. So I guess students will find a university that is internationally recognized, that invest a lot in building those capabilities for our students to be more employable, and also a university that works very closely with the industry. So by hearing the industry, we also learn and understand what the employers are looking for when they look for students. And we implement all that knowledge within our programs to make sure students make the most out of their experience.
Yeah, really nice. Because the industries, they're constantly changing, right? So the fact that you guys are always like observing those changes and preparing the students based on what the market needs are, this is really nice. Now I want to take a Qantas flight and land in Edinburgh to bring out students here. What is the style of education in the University of Edinburgh?
So Edinburgh University is a research-intensive university. We are one of the most successful universities in the UK in terms of engineering research. We have been ranked top in the category of general research in research power in the UK in the most recent research assessment. And we always try to integrate, to embed our research into our teaching. The teaching style that we follow is a project-based learning approach. From the outset, we try to make sure that our students get as much hands-on experience in engineering as possible through individual or group projects that they do, both within the curriculum, but also in extracurricular activities that we always encourage the students to do. So even if we forget about the standard curriculum, and the teaching methods that include laboratories and lectures and so on, our students have built and developed societies like, for example, the Hyperloop, the Edinburgh Hyperloop Society, the HYPID, which builds the next generation of mass transportation system and has been competing worldwide, and it has been very successful in that. We have a student group that is building a formula car every year and is competing. And again, it's very successful. And things like that, microsatellites, robotic arms, underwater autonomous vehicles, you name it. In the whole process, the academics are involved as well, so we try to provide as much input as possible. But in addition to the student-led and the university-led activities, we also try to get as much input as we can from industry. So we have formed industrial advisory boards for all our programs, both the undergraduate and the postgraduate programs. And we take on board all the advice that we get from industry in terms of where it heads. Engineering is a very rapidly changing environment. So we cannot afford to keep, the programs as they used to be 5 or 10 years ago. We are fully aware of this, and we try to make sure that our programs are always up to date.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important. Guys, now the other thing that I wanted to bring out is that, like, I'm seeing there the picture of the University of Edinburgh, amazing campus, but we saw the videos from the campus of the Polytechnique Montréal, from the campus of the Queensland as well. The campus structure can play a super important role in the development of the student itself, right? What resources do you guys have in your campus that enhance the experience of those studying engineering? So maybe we can start this with you, Natalia.
Yeah, sure. So at UQ, we have one of the most beautiful campus in the world. Is beautiful our St. Lucia campus, with a combination of sandstone buildings and modern buildings and beautiful natural spaces and lakes. So it offers world-class facilities and state-of-the-art laboratories and classrooms. We also have a purpose-built advanced engineering building, a drone lab, a virtual reality immersive learning room, super speed hypersonic shock tunnels, a race car workshop, a fire lab, and we also have a Boeing, the planes brand. They have a research and development center on campus as well, and the students have access to all of this. So yes, there's quite a few resources, labs, and state-of-the-art facilities that the students will be able to access if they study with us.
This is amazing, guys. For those of you in the audience, could you put here, like, what is the field of engineering that you're interested in, that you're considering studies? You can say, if you're not sure yet what you want to do, which field you want to pursue yet, you can put it here. But let's get this chat going. We'll love to get your interaction here as well. But yeah, so you guys have, even the Boeing has like a space with this is amazing. Now I want to bring like the Polytechnique Montréal to this as well. What resources do you guys have there in your campus in Montréal? And also, like, which activities, like, the students they go through, they do it throughout the engineering programs? I know they're very diverse, but what can you tell us?
Yeah, something very specific about Polytechnique Montreal, we are not an engineering department into a big school. So we're really an engineering school. So all the services that we provide are focused into engineering. So we know our students are engineers. They think like engineers. They're very rational. Everybody is almost the same, more or less different. So all the services are adapted. So we know that all the students coming to the financial support services are studying engineering. They all have the same tuition fees. They all have the more or less same concerns. So all the services are adapted. But we are into a main campus of University of Montréal, which is 1 kilometer square wide, so delivered by 3 metro stations. So we share all the services of University of Montréal, including residencies, the sports campus, medical clinic, and obviously, other than those services provided to all the students of the campus, we have those adapted to us, provided by the student services. So financial support, teaching support. If you have any problem with your classes, then you can address your questions to them. We have international student service, where if you have any problems with work permit, you don't know where you are at for your internship, then you can address your questions to these people, or visa application. We have also an entrepreneurship center. So if you, as Natalia mentioned, if you're into innovation and developing your own company, we have services for you to be able to build your project and deliver it into a company that would have an address on the street. So we support you in these projects. Other than that, we have also all the practical tools that we want you to be ready for the work market. So we have the integrator projects that are once every year at the bachelor degree level. So we bring you to put your hand into the engineering field. So some of the projects come from the industry, and we support you into this practical side of the engineering. So it's not only about theory, it's very practical. That's what I would say that could distinguish Polytechnique from any other universities.
Yeah, that's super cool. So it's quite a big campus, and 1 kilometer wide. Wow, that's
It's 65,000 students.
Wow.
But for Polytechnique, we have 9,000 students only doing engineering.
Yeah, okay,
so it's
cool.
3 different buildings.
And so now in Edinburgh, what are behind those beautiful walls behind you, our students?
Well, I have a little surprise, I'm afraid, in terms of that. The building that you see, the very beautiful building that you see behind me, is the very famous Old College, which is back in the city center, in the main campus of the University of Edinburgh. The School of Engineering is based in the King's Buildings campus, which is about a mile or maybe 2 kilometers to the south. So it's a nice stroll when the weather is nice, like today, for example. To our campus, and as I said, we are in the science and engineering campus. So all the facilities that are available within King's Buildings are focused on science and engineering. We have some very unique laboratories. The University of Edinburgh is a birthplace and still the world leader in offshore renewables, in marine energy. This is where the wave energy and the tidal energy was born about 40 years ago or so, more than 40 years ago. And we have a fantastic facility, which we call FlowWave, which is the only facility in the world of that size that can generate sea waves and water currents at the same time, which we can use, which we use for research, but also for demonstration to our students. In addition to facilities like this, and this was just an example, we have fully equipped laboratories, obviously, but we also have lab facilities that are dedicated for student projects. So we have laboratories with 3D printers and manufacturing facilities. So anything that a student wants to build, either as a part of their curriculum projects or as an outside project, they have the facilities and the means and the resources to do it. Within the campus, we have the main engineering library, so you don't need to move away. There are catering facilities, obviously, and being very close to the other science schools like physics, maths, geosciences, and chemistry, and so on, allows us to share resources, and allows the students also to network and communicate with other students in similar disciplines.
Cool, really nice. We're getting some questions here. John Carlos just sent us one. We're gonna address all of those questions in a minute, John. So stay tuned. Now, guys, I want to move on to something that is perhaps one of the the biggest or the most important criteria when students were choosing where to study, which is like the work opportunities that they have. So Maud has mentioned in the past that 98% of those students that ended up like getting a degree or graduating from Polytechnique Montréal, they get a job after the graduation. Now, I wanted to approach this because some of you already mentioned that you have like partnerships or relationships with some companies and students can benefit from this. I wanted to explore these opportunities for engineering students specifically. So maybe we can start with Queensland this time, Natalia. Can you share a little bit of like what if you have like partnerships with other companies? Where does your alumni go to head to after their studies, obviously, but also even during the studies, if you get like internships that they can benefit from?
Yeah, sure. Well, at UQ, we are ranked #1 in the state of Queensland in Australia for graduate employability. So our graduates are, SAT, and they are well equipped to look for jobs. So our top priority is to help students enter an exciting career in engineering, wherever specialization you end up doing. So we know that having a wide range of employability skills is key. So we developed that, as I mentioned before, through practical experiences and work integrated learning during your program. But our degrees have also opportunities for internships that we arrange for the students in Australia. So we have a broad range of companies within the engineering industry that partner with us for those internships. And students can also access extra, internships or work placements if they want to explore more, perhaps during the summer or during the winter break. We also have a summer research program for students who also want to learn more about research, and they can engage in that kind of practical internship, a research internship with the university during the summer. Something very important about Australia as well, Carlos, is that students are allowed to work part-time during their studies. This is part of the student visa program in Australia. So students can work up to 20 hours a week legally in the country. So if they find a part-time job, perhaps related with engineering, or just a part-time job to develop other skills and help with their living expenses as possible in Australia. And also, once they finish their degrees, the Australian government offers the opportunity for students to also apply for what we call the post-study visa rights, that allows students to stay in Australia for an extra 2 years with no limitations in terms of working hours. And so we help students to, make use of all these tools that they have during their degrees, and perhaps have that, practical experience after they graduate in Australia before they come back or they go back to their home countries. So there's a broad list of companies in all the discipline areas that we partner with within Queensland, in Australia, and in different parts of the world. I see a lot of Latin American students connected today in the chat. And we also have a Sustainable Minerals Institute based in Latin America, based in Santiago, in Chile. And many of our students are engaged. Latin America is very strong in mining and mineral resources. And this is actually an area that we are very strong in. We are ranked number 3 in the world for mining engineering. So there's a lot of opportunities available that I would love students to explore.
Yep. Lots to talk about, but let's move on here. So how about it from Polytechnique Montréal? Like, I know Canada is a super welcome country for international students as well. Tons of opportunities out there. Can you explain to us a little bit about what are those opportunities for engineering students?
Yeah, as a bit of Australia, we have an immigration programs for those students coming from abroad who graduate from a program in Canada, for them to stay into the country with work experience. So this exists also in Canada, within Quebec too. So it applies to students graduated from Polytechnique Montréal. But before that, once you register into one of our programs, no matter which level you get into, at the bachelor level, there is one internship that is mandatory, but you can do up to 4. So this is really how to build your resume and be strong for the work market once you graduate. So this is for the bachelor degree, but also at the master and PhD, you have the opportunity of doing either an internship or research projects. And the research projects are very practical. We want you to get to know the real life. What will it be once you graduate, and what will be the company waiting for you to do as a job. So most of the projects offered by our professor are funded by either the government or companies. So they want a return on investment. So they want you to work on something real that happened in the real life. So these projects will be very targeted to the job market, and so you'll have to work on something that will be useful at the end of your research. So you will definitely know what it works for. So very practical. As Natalia mentioned, there's also this possibility of working during your studies up to 20 hours per week during your studies, and then stay after and get your work experience before either going back to your country or decide to stay within Canada. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to build your resume and build your future career starting at Polytechnique Montreal.
Cool. Aristides, what can you share us from the University of Edinburgh?
Yeah, very similar. So first of all students are allowed to work up to 20 hours per week if they so wish to get some experience or some additional income. Although our advice to them is not to go all the way up to 20 hours, because probably that's going to mean that they will be struggling with their studies. During the summer, the students are able to do internships, and we have many students who take this opportunity. But most importantly, 3 out of our 4 disciplines offer a 6-month placement, industrial placement, as a part of the degree, so as a credit-bearing component of their degree. So we have partnerships with companies like Rolls-Royce, General Electric, Scottish Power, and other large or smaller companies that take our students for 6 months. They do a project with them, and in many cases this becomes something like a prolonged interview for the students. So in many cases, the students, after they finish their studies, they stay at the company and they get the graduate post. So all are available. As I said earlier, we have formed industrial advisory board. So the companies that are in the board, they are advising us on how we can best help the students get industrial experience while they're studying, so that when they graduate, they are ready to enter the workforce.
Amazing. Guys, I want to address very quickly here the questions that Giancarlo is sending to us. Thanks, Gian, for sending your questions here. He says that I'm interested in a master's degree in communication system engineering or telecommunications. Which of you offers that degree, and what would be the requirements for international students? So maybe we can start this one with you, Aristides, as well.
Yeah, so we have a master's degree called Signal Processing and Communications, which is pretty much what Giancarlo is looking for, I suppose. I can send you a link with all the requirements. What we, in terms of the academic requirements, what we are looking for is the equivalent of at least an upper second class honors degree, which the equivalent depends basically on the country that you're coming from. So it is best if you look at the website to see what is the marks that you need to have, the ranking of your degree, to see if you qualify for that program. And on the same website that I will send you will also find the information about the English requirements. They vary from program to program. I think generally what we're looking for is an average of 6 in the IELTS, or 6.5 in the IELTS test. But we also accept a range of other qualifications in terms of language.
Excellent. Now let me bring out another question here from Rosangela, and now let me address this to you, Maud, and you can also add on if you offer the. I don't know yet. Giancarlo, can you tell us if you're looking for a bachelor's level or a master's level in your program? That'll be great if you can put it here in the chat. But Rosangela, so Maud, answering to Rosangela, she's saying she's interested in a postgrad in renewable energy, which is something that is very getting track right? So can you tell us a little bit if you offer that, and what are the requirements very briefly?
Yeah, we offer both programs. So we offer the renewable energy, environmental architecture. It depends. We would have to discuss on understanding better what you mean by that. But renewable energy engineering, we do offer that, and we do offer computer and software engineering. So even AI combined with mathematics, analytics, data, and stuff like that. So we for sure have a program that would suit your needs. According to the admission criteria, it always depends if you want to enter a bachelor degree or a master. But for both levels of study, we agree that you need to have the previous diploma and the marks associated with the entry level into the program you want to reach. So we have established some equivalencies regarding different countries that we welcome students from. So we have a website I can show you, share with you in the chat, for checking if you have this minimum criteria and minimum GPA that we ask for. And obviously, one of the requests is about language. So I mentioned it earlier, for the bachelor degree, French is mandatory. But for any research program, including master's, research master's, and PhD, French is not mandatory. But if you do not come from an English background or English country, then we will ask you for English proficiency language test. And there is also a minimum for that, IELTS or TOEFL. And these two big components would be requested for admission. And for research, obviously, we would like you to find a research supervisor prior to your admission to make sure you find a match on the person, professors, or resume that you would like to work with. And this is also an opportunity to discuss about financial funding before being admitted or submitting your application to the school. So that's an opportunity to discuss on all the details of your further studies with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm getting happier because we're starting to get some tractions here in the questions. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, so let me move on to Natalia to this one, coming from Carlos here. He's saying that I'm a second year of bachelor degree in biomedical engineering, and I would like to transfer. So basically, do you offer a biomedical engineering? Does the University of Queensland offer that? And if you want to add on to the other programs that were also questioned as well. And one thing that I wanted to quickly ask you guys is to put it here on our chat, the links where they can find all the programs in your university website. So our team can put it right away on the chat here. So while Natalia is saying, if you other students and Maud can do that, and then Natalia as well. So you guys here in the chat, you can get those links, save it, and you can check the whole list of programs that they offer, right? But moving on to you, Natalia, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So yes, we offer the program. So it's within our chemical engineering specialization. You can do a major in biomedical engineering. So yes, we offer that program. We do a lot of research, very interesting research in that field. In terms of transferring to the university, you will be able to apply for academic credit, and you do that at the time of application. So once you submit your application, and you can do it online, as you know, we have a very friendly platform. So you have to upload the course profiles for the courses that you want to receive credit. So my recommendation in that case is to compare our curriculum with the curriculum of your university, and see which courses do you think are similar. So you will have to provide that course profile or the syllabi in English. So obviously we don't want you to translate it all. So just focus on the courses that you think are similar. And I'm also very happy to have a conversation with you at some point and help you identify those similarities. Our admissions team and the faculty will assess that and will possibly give you some credit for prior learning.
Absolutely. Guys, what I'm going to ask is, we have more people like sending questions here. We have Anne saying that she's interested in a master in Canada and multimedia engineering. Greetings from Colombia. Thanks for joining us. And what I'm going to ask our team here to put is the contact information from Maud, from Aristides, from Natalia here on the screen, and also on the chat. So you guys can, if you have questions, if you want to ask them about like anything that you've heard here today, you can go ahead and reach out. They would love to assist you. Okay, so I have to ask for this one because there's that's the third person who sent this question here about oil engineering. Can you just guys very quickly say if you offer that or not? And because if yes, they can use the link that you provided to check more information. So Natalia, do you offer oil engineering or petroleum engineering?
Yes, we do. We do, definitely.
Cool. Aristides, in University of Edinburgh as well? Oops. Wait a minute. I think you're muted. And yeah, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So we don't have degrees specifically in oil engineering. We have degrees in advanced chemical engineering, which includes oil as well. And we have also degrees in sustainable energy systems, which is an energy program, including lots of renewables and energy related topics.
Cool, amazing. And does Polytechnique Montréal offer petroleum engineering or?
My answer would be close to Aristides. It's the same. We don't have oil or petroleum specifically, but chemical engineering would cover most of the topics that most of the students would like to study when searching for oil and petroleum. Quebec is not strong in petroleum. That's why we're not offering the program.
Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Yeah, so we are putting here the contact information, guys. We're also going to put it on the chat as well. This is the contact information for Polytechnique Montréal. So if you want to ask questions, if you liked what you heard about Polytechnique Montréal, is a great. These three universities, they are among the top 10, the top 100 best engineering programs according to our research. So they are very good in this. If you want to pursue engineering programs, any of these three that you pick would be an excellent choice. I see Farzan here asking, like, saying that he's finishing the bachelor's in computer science. You think it's a great idea to pursue like a master's overseas? I do believe I have studied myself abroad a couple of times. It changed my life, opened many doors. This is something that I do encourage. But guys, now I just wanted to move ahead to the very end. I'll give you like a minute each. There were so many things that we would like to approach as well. The current, like some more about the career opportunities that students can pursue and so much more. But I'm hoping that the students that are joining us here today will be able to reach out to you guys and, you know, carry on the conversation. This was just the beginning. This was just to give you a little taste of what the possibilities are, or what these amazing universities offer in terms of engineering programs, and I hope that you really enjoy. So I want to like give you Maud, like your final words. Why study in Polytechnique Montréal? Why study in Montreal?
I would firstly say that Montreal is an amazing city. I have no doubt about Edinburgh or Queensland, but Montreal, if you've come to it, we have this French and English environment by the colonization that we have had in the past, and so we have these influences coming from Europe, where you feel that you're in North America, but at the same time in a European country. It's very unique as an ambiance. So Montreal in itself, it's a real opportunity for you to come and live both continent. And Polytechnique, there's nothing to say more than we are one of the best research and education institution in Canada. So just come and chat with me, so I will be able to discuss further into your research or education projects.
Great, thank you so much. Natalia, why choose University of Queensland? Why choose Australia?
Yes, I mean, you're curious, world-class university in a absolutely beautiful location. Australia is just a very friendly destination, very safe for students. But also, perhaps as a last comment, as I see so many Latin American students today, that for you to know that University of Queensland has agreements with most of the government scholarship bodies in Latin America, like CONACYT in Mexico, Becas Chile in Chile, Col Futuro in Colombia, CONACYT in Ecuador, Prunabec in Peru, and all those. I see students from all these locations. So please feel free to explore the opportunities, because you will be able to fund your studies through your governments with some of those agreements that we have in place.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And Aristides, thank you so much for joining us here today and representing this amazing university. Same question to you. Why study in University of Edinburgh?
Okay, so Edinburgh is a world-class university. We are top 20 at the moment in the most recent ranking, but forget about this. All universities, all 3 universities today are fantastic. Edinburgh is one of the most welcoming cities in the whole Europe. Scottish hospitality is world known. Edinburgh is a fantastic city to live in. There are 12 festivals running all over the year. We have the world's largest cultural festival, the Fringe, every August, which hopefully, fortunately, this year will run again after a break due to COVID. But in addition to all of this, we treat our students as family, as I said earlier. So the moment that someone becomes an Edinburgh student, becomes a member of the family for the rest of their lives. So in addition to the fantastic education that you will get in Edinburgh, you will also have a fantastic experience as a student and as a person living in this very, very beautiful city.
I have to say, guys, I had the pleasure already to visit both of your cities, Edinburgh and Montreal. Queensland is in my list, hopefully soon enough. But what I can tell you is that your places are like amazing. The things that we tell here students is that the city, as well as an important part, should be an important part of your decision, because you're not going to spend 24 hours inside the university, inside a classroom. You'll be interacting with a different culture. So choose carefully, choose the one that you feel more excited about. And yeah. So again, thank you so much for joining the Student World Prime Choices on this beautiful Wednesday here. I want to thank Maud. I want to thank Natalia. I want to thank you, Aristides. You guys, you have such an amazing job. You represent 3 amazing universities. It's really a pleasure to have you here. So thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you again in a different life for a different subject here at the Student World.
Next time you come to Edinburgh.
Yep, definitely. Thanks for the invitation.
Everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye,
everyone.
All right, then. And for those of you that stay until now with us, I can only say thank you. Thank you for joining. Here we started like with this idea of exploring like specific subjects, because even though there might not be the most popular subject always, like last week we did hospitality, this week we're doing engineering, next week we might do like MBA programs, but every week we'll be exploring a different subject or a different destinations, because we really want to show to you all that, there are so many things out there that you can do, that you can pursue. Studying abroad is an amazing opportunity. So really go for it. If you have questions about it, please shoot. We put it here, the contact information for these 3 amazing people that have joined us. We really hope that you can pursue. It's not an easy job, but it can be done. It takes some effort, but again, it can be done. I've done it myself a couple of times, and I don't regret at all. All right. So if you have liked what you see here today, don't forget to like our video here. If you're not following the Student World on Instagram or even here on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. You can keep taking a look at all the other lives that we've been hosting recently. And it was a pleasure to welcome you all here today. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, Jean Carlos. You have participated a lot, mate. Thank you so much for Zan and all the others that made this this live so interactive. All right, guys, thank you so much. And that's it. I'll see you next Wednesday. So the Student World, whatever you want to study, we know how to get you there.